Alright, guys, well, this is a special bonus video. This is the Staff of Aegis live Q&A. We will be asking questions, and I'll be uploading this on my channel. So, the first question comes in from that lucky guy, and he asks, is the Staff of Aegis team thinking of adding third-tier classes like Fire Emblem 9 and 10? And how many chapters will the hack have in total?
We're not adding a third tier for promotions. Total, I believe it's 32?
Yeah, either
12,
32 or
10, and
33, depending on how it works.
I think it's 12, 10, and 10.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's see. Ed Sub Fire Emblem asks, Sim, have you guys in the hacking community tried to make a hack based off the Path of Radiance game engine?
I think some people poke around with it, but it's a lot harder, so it's not really a thing.
Not Mr. Beast asks, is there a default save for the second half already, so you play the first half and want to jump straight into the second half when it comes out? Also, what is the name of your Discord? Have a few more questions. So.
As for the save, when we finally publish the first part of Act 2 with Sawyer and Owen routes for you guys to choose, I'll probably have a save at right at 1F, so you might need to play through 1F again. We'll try to have a save for you guys, considering that some of the skills have changed, but I can't promise it.
And if you've... Yeah, I think the only thing that's different is we changed the Pegasus Knight generic skill. So if you want that instead of camaraderie, you'd have to restart. We'll look into
and some of the characters
like
have gotten better growths
it
as well.
might be like a save where we just set everyone to have like their average stats at like level 13 or something, or whatever we choose it to be.
Yeah, and put it right before the route split decision. That'd probably be smart.
Yeah.
Okay. Unregistered Reggie asks, what causes you guys to balance Staff of Aegis enemies and bosses, whether their stats, their classes, the quantity of enemies, or their inventories, especially their inventories? And how will you determine the normal mode enemies from the hard mode ones, if at all?
This is more a question for you, Zem. But the way that unit balancing works is that there's certain like little bins for each unit, for each weapon type of unit. So they all have similar similar growths, and their bases are differentiated by their class. We used to have more, but we had to consolidate stuff because we were about to run out of character slots. So that's why some of the balance in O2 and the Owen route has been kind of fucky, and some of the earlier stuff has gotten really hard now. So before we release, we're going to be taking a sweep through again and trying to rebalance the whole game again. So that's why some of the balance is a bit weird. Bosses have their own character ID though, so they can be a bit more personal as to how we adjust them.
We just put in numbers and change them when it's too much.
Yeah. All right. Yeah, pretty much.
I mean, that's basically what balancing is.
Naga Divine Dragon asks, how the fuck do I join the team?
How the fuck do you join the team? There's no
looking for
real
anyone
easy
right
way
now.
to do that. If you have a valuable skill, like making portraits that aren't splices, having some idea about how to interact with build files, being able to make animations, things like that, we need those people. We don't really need any more writers. We don't need more people who just have ideas. So if you want to join, if you have a valuable skill, definitely PM me or Zim about it. We're on Discord, and I can supply my Discord ID if you guys have more questions for me. But if you have a skill, we're more than certainly looking for more people, but not everybody has the skills that we need.
Yeah.
Right, alright. Let's see. Jutron asks, are there any plans to make use of the Lord classes from the other Fire Emblems?
There
I don't believe
are
so.
No.
We outright replaced them.
Yeah, we replaced all Ephraim and Erica's, and I think Sawyer is Mirror,
Sawyer-
and that's why she was.
No,
that's why he
Sawyer
was
is
weak
Innis.
to- Is he Innis? Why was
He's
he weak
Innis.
to dragons at one
Because I think his class slot used to be Draco Zombie.
point? Oh, okay.
So we had to fix that. Belle has Erica's class
And
slot, and
Owen is
has
Ephraim, I'm pretty
Ephraim's.
sure, yeah.
Yep.
Alright, this is a bit of a vague one, but he seems like he really wants the tip. So, Killing Edge Lord 11X asks, I'm recently began working on my hack. Can you give me tips?
Don't make it shit. Make it good.
There you have it.
Don't worry about the art. Make the game, and then people will come to you to help with that.
Yes, absolutely.
If you look at
And
old
don't
Staff
worry so
Pages,
much
they're
about
really
writing
bad.
either. Like, if you can put up a good, like, couple of chapters and people see it has promise, there will more than certainly be enough writers coming out of the woodwork to help you. There's always writers trying to ask to join, like, Staff of Ages, and
Yeah.
I'm sure Bloodlines has the problem as well. So, I mean, it's not really a problem, but there's a lot of people
the-
who know how to write, and there's not a lot of people who know how to make a game. So if you can make a
Most
game,
important-
people will come to you, essentially.
And it's easier than ever now with stuff like FE Builder.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. FE Builder is wonderful.
Basically, you yourself should know how to do the events and stuff because most people who know how to do it are already doing their own thing.
Right. All right. Moving on. Let's see. Termin Carnival asks, which unit was the hardest to find a niche for when planning stats?
Hmm.
Oh boy,
That's a good question.
quite a few I think we were struggling with.
I think Sophia, definitely.
Sophia.
Well, Harold was probably the first one that we had a problem with because I mean he's a monk, and he sort of comes
Right.
in a place where you already have, well, where you have both Owen and Sawyer who are so good that they don't, they make it so you don't really need any other magic classes. Una's already doing light magic, and you also have Rika at that point, so you really
Yeah.
don't need another monk. But we did make him viable for his first chapter. He's able to take down the fighters that he spawns near.
I would say people like Harold, Sophia, Lily was.
Oh yeah,
kind of
Lily was definitely tough until we figured out how
Yeah,
to give
he
her
did a lot of
really
adjustments.
baller person.
I
Gave her
complained
her
a lot. I complained a lot about Lily as well because I was like, I already got Belle. Why do I need another Pegasus Knight? What
Mhm.
makes her stand out at all? You know?
Yeah, well, she's
Dream
a lot more
Chaser's
useful now
really
with flyer formation because she can stack Belle and Kate on top of her and get +4 damage. And she also has Dream Chaser as well to get that 5th point of damage and 3 extra speed. So she's pretty terrifying if you know how to position her correctly, but there's the prerequisite of knowing
Yep.
where and how to position her.
Right.
So-
Right.
Bit of skill involved.
Just Billy asks, will the Lords have split promotions as well?
The Lords will not. They each have one promotion, and they all promote. Well, Sawyer and Owen promote at the end of. Well, you're given an item and you can promote them whenever you want, but you're given the promotion item at the end of the 4th chapter of their arc. So the chapter that comes after this one, at the end of it, Owen would have gotten his promotion item, and Belle's story promotes in the 2nd guided chapter.
And the other Lord will, when they join back with whoever you chose, should have it in their inventory to promote.
Yes.
I don't really get this one, but maybe you do. Just Jace asks, what will happen after Staff of Ages?
What will happen after Staff of Ages? Well, we're probably not going to make another hack because Zim is a busy boy. I don't know how to build a hack, and I don't think enough people on the team know how to for us to make a sequel or anything.
I mean, I
But-
don't think this game is going to warrant a sequel.
Yeah, it
We're
probably
wrapping
like
that up pretty.
yeah, it'll have a pretty concise ending that there probably won't be enough room.
We might
for
do
a
like a bunch
sequel,
of
but-
smaller things.
But I mean, like maybe if a good team comes along, like I mean, I haven't seen how well the Last Promise 2 team is doing, but if they do a good job, if a really talented team comes along and is like, hey, we have a really awesome idea for Staff of Ages 2, and I approve of the script idea, and Zim also approves it, and like our team approves of it, then maybe we'll hand over Staff of Ages to someone else to make a sequel. But that we can't say anything about that until we actually get to the end of this one.
That's
And
the-
that's been a
wow.
journey, like a 3-year journey.
Staff of Ages 2 coming out in 2030. Just
Coming
expect it.
Probably.
Coming soon.
2020.
All right. Houston Gamer asks, can you add more cute grills?
Can we add more cute grills? Well,
I
maybe.
can put in a George Foreman.
Sounds good.
I mean, there's certainly more female units coming along. Whether or not you consider them cute is your own prerogative.
There you have it. All right. Next question comes in from Twitch Watches Streams, and he/she asks, could we increase personal skill effectiveness?
Well, the design philosophy behind the personal skill is to have like a niche. It's not just supposed to be overall good.
Yeah. The personal skills are intended to be weaker than the class skills, and there's 3 tiers of personal skills. There's weak skills that are on pretty much all the time. There's medium strength skills that happen some of the time, and powerful niche skills that only happen rarely. Like Nero's gives him 5 points total worth of stats, but it only activates against certain classes. So more often than not, he technically doesn't have a personal, but when it does come in, it's a really powerful boost.
All right. Okay, next one comes in from Le Shadow Striker, and he asks, will you give personal skills for Landsknecht's, Frederica's class, etc.?
Not personal skills,
personal
but class
skills are character-based. They will have...
I think he may have meant class. I think he meant class skills.
All promoted classes have a class skill. It's just you get it. They unlock at level 10. So Nero wouldn't have access to that until late game.
Okay, so next question comes in from Sonic McSpeedster, and he asks, favorite character?
Favorite character? I mean, Zim's a big fan of Sawyer. I'm pretty partial to Owen, but that's because I've pretty much worked on his route the whole time. I mean, Nero's great. He's badass. He's got huge strength growth. He might even be a little bit too powerful. Lily, I love Lily's personal skill. It makes her probably one of the more fun flyer units to use in the entire series. And Belle is also really good. A Sword Pegasus Lord is certainly really interesting, and I can't wait for you guys to see her promoted class.
And Sim, your favorite class?
Yeah, like you said, I'm a big fan of Sawyer. I also like Charles, because his personal skill is really fun to use. Who else?
I like Charles too, before I killed him.
There's a unit in Sawyer route that I really like that comes in Chapter 2 that I really enjoy, also because of his personal skill.
Oh, yeah, him. Oh, you guys are going to have to wait until we release for you to get to meet that character. If you hated vague skill descriptions before, you're definitely going to hate his.
Well, here comes in, this question has a bit of salt to it. But I think
salt's good. I love salt.
And he's called Dr. Upset. And he asks, why does all the units suck?
Why does all the units suck? Well, I doesn't know why all the units does suck. Maybe you just have different priorities than the rest of us, and that's okay. We all got to learn to live with that. But I do agree. I mean, you have a valid point. You're probably getting it like, oh, why don't units hit or anything? And I certainly agree about that. So there will probably be board-wide skill increases. The ballistas might get more accurate. There's a lot of stuff that we're planning to do because the early game is kind of unbalanced after we did the character ID Regis distribution. So things are kind of weird right now, and we're doing our best to fix it.
There's also a chance of removing luck from enemies to up your hit points by a little bit.
That's true as well. That's always an option.
Could just give everyone 0 luck who isn't a boss. It's really easy.
Right. This is something we've heard all night, but I think it's still something that should be asked or answered. Leviathan222 asks, where can we download the game when it comes out?
Well, if you want to link our Serenus Forest page, whenever we come out with an update, if you guys comment on the page, I think you're notified automatically when we make an update.
Yeah, okay.
Or when anybody makes a post, really. So yeah, when the game is ready, you guys can go and download it there. Absolutely free to play. We don't take money for this game because we're making a game for you guys.
They have to pay me. They have to pay me after all.
Yeah, that's true. But yeah, we definitely don't, because if we did, we'd more than certainly get C&D'd. We don't want that to happen because we want to make a great game experience for you guys.
Next question comes in from Giga17, and he asks, what do you look to do in supports in the future?
Supports. Well, I've actually started writing a bunch of them. All of the unit pairings are done. It's just a matter of writing all the supports now. Supports are going to be interesting too. We're limiting how... well, we're making it easier to get the supports, but all of the supports are going to be locked behind Arc. So C supports you can get in Arc 1, B supports you can get in Arc 2, and A supports you can get in Arc 3. So they'll be a lot easier to get. The 5 support limit still exists. But yeah, they're definitely going to be a lot easier to get than in Sacred Stones.
I believe we're doing a thing where, what is it? If you deploy 2 units who have supports, they get support points.
Yes, I think we're going to try and make that, because we definitely want it to be easier to get the supports, so you don't have to ruin your turn counts by waiting 40 turns for units to get a support point.
I just put on some different music.
That's fine.
Yep.
Prince of Chaos asks, or Prince of Chaos 99 asks, do you feel while hacking it is important to some of the Fire Emblem archetypes, such as Abel and Cain, or is it more important to make up original units/characters?
I think we've been focusing
both.
more on original characters. We do have some archetypes like I'd say that Federica is pretty much a Jagan because you have her for like 4 chapters and she's really strong, but she doesn't get much growth. What else? Elijah's kind of also a mini Jagan. Nero's kind of an Ogma in that he's a strong mercenary that's useful. We don't have. Well, I mean, there's an argument for Elijah being a board or cord, but I think he's better than either board or cord. So
I never used him.
Yeah. I mean, he's good enough if you put investment into him. But yeah, we didn't really think about archetypes going in, but as we've been designing characters, some of them have just fallen into archetype bins.
Or we've been like, oh, what's this character like in this game? Because they fill a similar role to what we want this character to do.
Right.
All right. Right. The next question comes in from... I'm going to skip your question, piece of pizza, because it's already been answered. And I'm skipping joke questions because I want to keep this somewhat serious. Rand Kevin asks, do you have any units that you hate or love to hate?
In general? Or in the hack?
I think we're exclusively talking Staff of Ages
we're exclusively
now.
talking about Staff of Ages. I haven't found a use for Herald after the chapter he's deployed in, which is a shame because I kind of like him. I really, really, really want to like Sophia, but she's never been useful for me, no matter what I've done. So maybe we have to revisit her when balancing her. Because right now she's sort of a strength Myrmidon, but she has a kind of shitty speed growth, which kind of sucks. But who else?
I don't know. Kind of Julia's probably got some issues too.
Yeah, Julia's got some issues too. I mean, I don't like how she looks anyway.
Who's Julius?
I think Julia was the lady.
Oh, Julia. I thought you said Julius.
Yeah, the flyer that we met at the beginning of the stream. I mean, I'm sure she could be all right, but I just don't like how she looks, and she's kind of.
We can always
Pegasus.
update her portrait.
Yeah, we can always update her later. And speaking of portraits I don't like, I really don't like Marcius. I mean, everybody says that there's nothing wrong with him, but I just look at him and something seems off. I don't know, I feel like a kind of uncanny valley.
I agree, that's the boss, right?
Well, Marcius is the 1-9 boss, the defend map where you get...
Yeah, I agree. I think something looks incredibly off about him, so I reacted to that as well.
The first person who agrees with me.
I'm not particularly
worried right now. Right now, we want to actually get the game out to you guys so you guys can play.
It's not a priority change, in my opinion.
Yeah, I mean, but it'll happen at some point. We'll probably at the end of it, we'll take a look at all the portraits we made and make them look like they came from the same artist, even though we have like 4 artists on the team.
All right. Next question comes in from Anti-Skillshot. And he asks, who are the people or person that does portraits in Staff of Ages?
We've got a couple of them.
Not done. I have a feeling you stated this somewhere, but I'm asking here anyway. Also, whoever did Lilith's portrait is a god among the Fire Emblem community. All right.
Yes, that is true. I don't remember who did Lily.
Lily was Arcfalchion.
Oh yeah, Arcfalchion did her. So go send your praise to Arcfalchion if you like.
That might be kind of out of the blue though. She's not really active.
Yeah, I think that's true. Most of our portraits are done by either Kobe or Toa. If you guys are familiar with FEU or Serenus Forest, you probably know who they are.
Yeah,
Alusk has done a few. I think Punk has done 1 or 2 as well. And some of the early ones like Charles and Bell are like really good splices that I don't remember who did those. I think Toa might have done those.
A lot of it's Toa.
Most of it is Toa. Some of it's Kobe. And then we have a few extra artists scattered here and there. As far as animations go, a new addition to our crew, Ayer, who's actually part of Fort Mengs.
Who brought that guy in, I wonder?
You brought that guy in, and thank you so much for that. He has been a really good addition to our team because he can pump out animations like nobody's business. Goy's Grimoire, the beta units. Can't forget those guys. We have more credits. If you download the ROM, there's credits for
credits are also in the main post on Serenades Forest.
And in the main post on Serenades Forest, yeah.
All right. The next question comes in from Matierwing18, and he asks, "When can we see more of what's coming?"
When can we see more of what's coming? Well, we're going to be doing our best to bring out the next 2 chapters to you guys. We definitely have some rebalancing to do, but we're going to be working as quickly as we can to get the last 2 chapters done, so you guys can play the game.
It could be a while because I'm
it could
wrapping
be a
up the
little bit
semester right now, so I'm pretty busy with that.
Yeah, but all of the writing is done for the chapters that are going to be coming out. So it's just a matter of Zim and Dat having the time to put the thing together. And
There's also
rebalance the
we
stuff.
just need some art assets to
And
stick in
some
the
art
game
assets
still.
too. So, like we said before, if any of you budding artists are out there who don't make splices and make original portraits, feel free to hit me up or hit
I mean,
Zim
I'm pretty
up.
sure Toa still splices, but
Yeah, I mean, Toe is still active, but we definitely need more artists because art is something that takes a while for us to get.
we got a lot of
Yeah,
people
speaking
to
of
draw.
art, though, Glacio, I forget how to pronounce his name. He's the one who does all of our skill icons. I mentioned that
Yup.
earlier in the stream, but he's great.
All right. Okay. The next question comes in from. Skip that one because it seems semi-unserious. King Gracer asks, "How hard is it to make custom classes?"
Custom classes, this is you, Zim.
I mean, if you mean by art, it's just a matter of knowing how to animate the pixel art.
I think he means like the
If
entire
you just-
package of like making a completely new class and putting it into the game.
I mean, that's just changing a couple lines. It's not particularly difficult. The hard part's just getting the art and putting it in.
Or having a good idea about what you want the custom class to be. Because if it's weird,
Yeah,
like
that's true.
tomes and axes, I mean, that doesn't really work because we don't have a strength magic split.
I'm pretty sure one exists, but we don't use
I mean,
it.
it does, but we're not particularly
in our
keen on
plans.
using it.
Okay, and this next one is something that I know a lot of people will really want to hear. And actually something that I've been wondering a little bit myself. Just Jace 101 asks, "Will you buff Belle? I find her more weak than Shun from The Last Promise."
not
Well,
that bad.
here's the interesting thing. The bells that I have raised have all been wonderful units. Sure, they can't one-shot stuff like, well, Hector didn't really one-shot stuff. Like Ephraim or Seth or something, but she's
Those
a
are both
perfectly
characters who one-shot
serviceable-
things.
Yeah, she's a perfectly serviceable unit if you know how to use her properly. She's good at ferrying units around, but she will get a significant power spike with her promoted class because she gets a lot of new options and a certain weapon that you guys have already seen already.
Well, I will say, I will just jump in here and say that my issue with Belle is that I feel like she's not fast enough for a Pegasus Knight. Maybe I just got speed screwed, but in my both of my playthroughs, my Belle didn't double anyone, and that just
I
made her
think
feel
we
so
already.
redundant.
It's not in the public release, but I think I gave
We
her
did.
a point or two of more speed.
Yeah.
Yeah, we buffed her. We did a couple of things. I think we buffed Owen's magic base by 1, Sawyer's speed base by 1,
I think I
and
gave
Belle's speed base by like 1 or 2.
Bell might have got another point of strength too. I can't remember. But I
And a
know
point
I
of
gave her
strength, yeah.
speed.
So there is stuff that you guys haven't seen yet, and you'd have to replay through the whole game if you wanted to see it. But there's stuff coming. We're definitely hearing you guys, and we're definitely agreeing with you guys. So the more feedback that you guys can throw our way, the better.
All right, we're gonna do 5 more minutes of Q&A, and then we're gonna end it. So the next question comes in from Super Unsubscriber, and he says, "Do you guys put more focus on the map design or the story?"
Well, we don't put a focus on either because we have 2 separate teams working on those things. I might as well just drop some names here. We've got, like, on the writing team, we've got me, we've got Scott, we've got Walker, we've got Lily, we've got Search is around sometimes, and a bunch of other people come in to help occasionally. I hope I'm not forgetting too many names here. And the people who design the maps are Zim, Dat, Circles comes in to help when he's got some free time. So we have different teams working on different things. So, like, for example, right now,
Chet
all of like
does
90%
map
of
stuff.
the Act 2 writing is done, but the hard part is putting the maps together. So that's sort of what we're waiting on.
Yeah.
So we don't really focus on either. It's we have separate teams working on everything basically.
It's a good plan.
All right, I'm gonna pick some of the more interesting questions for the final 4 minutes, guys. Sorry if I
Lightning
jump
round,
your
let's go.
question, but there's a couple of here that I think is really nice. So Rick Toho fan asks, why didn't you make Marcus recruitable? In the chapters he appears in, you can spare his life. You can spare his life twice. So why don't you make him playable? As in Preservant's Gift, Marcus was the halberdier seeking revenge. I think they know.
Right. The reason why you can't recruit him is because he doesn't want anything to do with your army. He's grief-stricken that you killed Regina in the previous chapter, and he doesn't want to associate with you. He believes in what Seneca's doing, and he's willing to lay down his life for it.
And I think we will give Grey Wolfus his answer. Maybe, I don't know why he's so insistent about this. Grey Wolfus asks, seriously, when are you going to fix fucking Kate?
Kate is fixed. I will say that. We had a stream with Mel some time ago where she went and tested.
She played.
What was
through
it? S21, right?
Yeah,
And some of the earlier
that
chapters.
was FE3.
Yeah, something that we noticed is she came in at like level 13 or 14 and she had terrible stats. So we scaled her back to 11 and gave her some more stats. So she's a perfectly serviceable unit, but I didn't train her too much coming into the stream.
She was doing pretty all right.
And she was doing all right. Like, I mean, she's not like a horror or something who can go in and one-shot any unit that you stick her up against, but she's a perfectly serviceable flyer.
Right. Okay, let's see if we can find but I was just kind of looking through to see, there was a question here that I really wanted to, there we go. Two Foreigner Soul asks, I would like to know how everything comes together in Staff of Ages. Did you guys had already map story ideas, etc. before in mind? Or is everything going a chronological way? E.g., is there a map already planned for, let's say, the final endgame?
Basically, I mean, we sat down and, well, we first wanted to get Arc 1 off the ground because we wanted to see if people had interest in the hack. If people weren't going to play it, we weren't going to go. But people seem to like us more or less. I mean, we're a meme, and some people are like, oh, the game sucks because you can't one-shot everything and Eagle doesn't start with an Uber Spear. But people seem to be interested, so that's when we kept going. So after we released 1F some time ago, around the time that Mengs was making his second Let's Play, we all got together and like, where do we want this story to go? So we came up with some ideas. We have a plan for every chapter towards the end game. All of the chapters have been named. All of the units who are going to appear as recruitable have been put in their places. It's just a matter of making all the chapters. So we do have a plan for where the story is going to be going towards the end. Like I've said, 90% of Arc 2's writing, all of Owen Route is done right now. We're just waiting on the last couple of Sawyer Route chapters and the last Gaiden. That I'm working on the last Gaiden, actually. So when those come together and we have the maps done, which, like we mentioned before, the maps take some time to be created. Because nobody's getting paid for this, and we don't want to get paid for this because we're doing this for you guys as a gift to the Fire Emblem community. So it takes some time for people to find the time to spare to put things together. So when stuff comes out, it will, and we have a plan all the way towards the end.
Yep. We don't have like maps or anything made in advance. Those come up as we need them.
Yeah, I should have mentioned that as well. You're very right about that.
We have, it's just like a generic story outline. We have like names of characters. We don't stat them out until it's time to get to their chapter. But
right.
All right. Last question of tonight. I picked this one because it was dear to my heart since I just made a video about it. Giga17 asks, is there going to be a triangle attack? If so, will Bell participate in it?
We really want to do a triangle attack, but the problem is when you deal with a bunch of custom classes, triangle attacks are really hard to do. So as of right now, as much as it hurts my heart to say, I don't think we can do a triangle attack. If somebody out there in the hacking community really understands triangle attacks and how to make them work, we want to make a triangle attack work, but we don't know how. And the way that we could do it is like maybe 2 Falco Knights, because you get 2 Falco Knights, and then Bell would be the only one who could initiate it. I mean, I don't know. I'm just sort of spitballing here. I really want there to be a triangle attack, but as of right now, I don't think we can make it happen.
I think we can just assign the triangle attack flag and it'll just play the default. Or it'll break. I'm not sure. I never tried.
Yeah, I mean, it's interesting in Sacred Stones because Wyvern Knights can initiate it, but they can't be a secondary unit in it.
Yeah, so that might
like that's why I was thinking
be
that
something
maybe
to look
Bell
at.
would be the only one who could initiate it, and then you need 2 other Falco Knights to participate. So I mean, that's an idea. If we can make it happen, we'll make it happen, but I really can't guarantee anything, unfortunately.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, that's all we had time for. If you're watching this on YouTube, I will provide all the necessary links. Granted, they allow me to post the links in the video description to go where like their official thread on Serenus Forests. And I'm not sure if they want me to put a Discord link in. We'll see. That's up to them. They'll have to decide that on, for themselves.
I think there's a Discord link on the Serenades Forest thread anyway.
Yeah.
So-
So we'll probably give you a permanent link to put in your video description, because I mean, nobody reads the
Just take-
description anyway, right?
Nobody reads the description ever.
Just take the one.
Yeah.
Serenades Forest.
So yeah, it's been a lot of fun, guys. I think we've seen a lot of cool Staff of Ages content tonight, and I think a lot of people got their questions answered. So I would like to thank you both for coming on. It was an absolute joy to play my favorite ROM hack in the world. Totally not bribed sentence whatsoever. Promise, I'm not getting any money for this, guys. I really do love Staff of Ages. So yeah, I think you already asked this, but do you think you have a rough estimate for when we might hear something in the future?
Well, remember when
Boy,
we
I
were
hope
releasing
by
it
the
at
summer.
Christmas? I don't really have.
okay.
I can't guarantee you a date.
My estimate is summer.
Okay.
Yeah.
There's
So
literally
yeah,
like
at some
2
point.
chapters left to do,
Right.
and
some
just a whole
balance.
bunch of rebalancing.
Because we
and
probably want to
adjustments.
rebalance the early game and make some adjustments to the chapters that you guys saw today, because there were obviously some issues that we are aware of and want to fix as well.
Right.
But yeah,
I'm
thank you
thi-
so
I'm-
much for having us,
Yeah.
Mangs. It was honestly a dream coming on with you guys. And if you want to do anything like this in the future, I'd certainly be willing to set some time aside to do it with you.
Count on it. We'll be there for the next Staff of Ages Direct when the next route comes out. I'm gonna have to go play the Cyrus route and make a let's play out of it anyway, because I haven't done that yet. So I'll probably do that as well. But yeah, anyway, thank you so much for coming on, guys. It's been a pleasure. Good night to everyone, and goodbye, Galistan and Sim.
Take care.
See ya.